Hello, friends. I hope you all have been staying warm this week. I'm so over the cold. I'm so over the cold. I feel like I look terrible right now, but that's okay. It's not about how I look. I don't always want to appear polished and perfected when I do my videos. I just got off the phone with my middle child. I haven't actually spoken to my kids in a hot minute. We've texted here and there over the past couple of months, but I haven't really talked to them. And when in the past, when I have talked to them, it's been very surface level. But my middle child wanted me to know that he found my YouTube channel, that he's seen some of my videos that I have posted. And so when he started texting and then he called me, he had a lot of questions. And I did my best to be truthful with him, but also tactful, I guess. He was worried that he was going to make me angry or upset. But he had a lot of questions, and I did my best to answer his questions. Truthfully and tactfully. Because I don't want to sugarcoat. I don't want to tiptoe around what I've been through. Tiptoe around my mistakes. I don't want to tiptoe around what happened between him or between my kids' dad and myself with our divorce and with our separation and divorce. And I also have to be careful about what I say about their dad. Per the court orders, divorce papers, we're not supposed to be talking bad about the other parent. In front of the kids. And considering I haven't had the opportunity to actually see my children in over a year, and before that my visits with my children were supervised. It was just kind of I don't know. Can't remember what the full verse is, but it's like, for love covers a multitude of sins. Love one another, for love covers a multitude of sins. And my child had a lot of questions about my mental health. He had a lot of specific questions about my mental health, which I don't know. Like, in my mind, like, I can't really determine right now if their father telling them about my mental health, telling them about my experiences, if that can be construed as talking bad about the other parent. Or in some way, like a form of emotional, mental manipulation. I don't really want to think about that. I have to believe. I have to believe that their dad is doing what's best for them. And has their best interests at heart all the time. You know, like I've talked about in other videos, just me being prepared mentally, emotionally myself to have those conversations with my kids. I'm at where I'm at. There are consequences to our actions. I have to believe that he has their best interest at heart. Like, I'm not angry. I'm not angry at my ex. Like, I understand. Like, we can never really know how somebody is going to respond. That fight, flight, freeze mentality. We can never really know how somebody is going to respond to the things that we put them through. It's just kind of this but above all, love one another, for love covers a multitude of sins. I know I wasn't acting out of love when all of that went down. When our separation and divorce went down. And just from his response, how he responded, he was not acting out of love either. And in so many instances throughout our marriage, I feel like he could try to convince himself that he was acting out of love. Like I was honestly like even before my child contacted me and we had that conversation, I like maybe an hour before that was just crying, talking to God, telling him how tired I was, how very soul tired I am. I want to have peace again in my life. I want to have joy. I I want to be surrounded by people with compassion, with understanding, with empathy. And I want to stop walking around in life having this sort of, with my walls up, carrying around fear. Fear of being known, of being heard, of being seen, fear of rejection, abandonment. I shouldn't have to feel that way. My kids shouldn't either. I'm always here for them. I'll always love them. I will endure their questions. I will endure their anger if they have it towards me. Because they're my kids. They're my kids. But for myself, for my own healing, for my own journey through this life, I shouldn't have to feel afraid to tell my story, my side of the story. I shouldn't have to feel afraid to share my weaknesses, share where I've fallen short in life. Without feeling like it's going to come back at me in some way. Love one another, for love covers a multitude of sins. I know that, and I've said this in other videos, like I know that as time goes on that I'm going to have to come face to face with these things, come face to face with the people that I've hurt in my life, be accountable. Especially when it comes to my kids. And forever, for however long it takes. Even if it takes the rest of my life. not even so much trying to convince them, but just trying to lead them, not towards me, but towards God, towards Jesus and his teachings on love, on forgiveness. If they can learn from my mistakes and not make them themselves. If they can see me not just as their mom, but as another human being living this human experience. They're children of God. I'm a child of God. Their dad is a child of God. And I told their dad early on in the separation that I would never forgive him for what he's put me through. For what he's done, especially when it comes to our kids. And how he responded, and like, I understand. I'm a lot more coherent now, mentally stable, emotionally stable, to understand why he did what he did. And I go back and forth with that a lot. I don't want to forgive him. And like, I know I've read enough of the Bible, I know enough about God and Jesus and what Jesus has to say about forgiveness. Especially in the Lord's Prayer. I've talked about that before too. God forgives us of our debts as we forgive others of theirs. That's probably why I'm still not fully at peace yet. Probably still why I go back and forth between having moments of joy and then feeling like God's not even there at all. Because I still go back and forth with that. Because I'm still fighting with God with that. There's betrayal. on both sides of the coin. And that's not just something that is going to go away overnight. I think God understands that. And He'll continue to bring up the topic to me every now and again. Are you ready to talk about this? Are you ready to forgive? Are you ready to hand that over to me? I'm working on it, God. I'm working on it. I can't make any promises right now. There is a certain level there's a small glimmer of hope there. To be able to have that conversation with my child. Hopefully, eventually, with my other children as well. But the situation is entirely in God's hands. I only have so much power in the situation. And I wouldn't even call it power. Like, I only have so much influence, like, so much input. But above all, love one another. For love covers a multitude of sins. Oh, I'm on 5%. So I should probably end this pretty soon before my phone dies. Progress, not perfection. That's all God ever asks of us is progress, not perfection. Baby steps. Baby steps are still steps. They may be small, but they're still moving forward. There's light at the end of the tunnel. And I'm going to keep walking it. I'm going to keep walking it. I love you guys. Stay warm this weekend. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.